The Thompson Center Performance Center LRR and 308 is what we'll be taking a look at next on GBGuns. Unconventional tabletop style I've got going on here, but this is a big gun. It's in 308, single stack, detachable magazine, and this is sort of a balance, if you will, to some of the other affordable option chassis guns that are out there. So it came out, it was in the Performance Center listed by Smith & Wesson, which is what made me want to get my hands on it. And you see it's got this nice stock with length of pull being adjustable and an adjustable cheek riser there. The butt pad itself can swivel. We have an AR compatible pistol grip, so you can change to whatever grip you want. A nice large handle there, two-stage trigger. That safety dongle, to put it in pistol terms, like on a Glock, is actually stage 1. And then once your finger gets back to that solid trigger bar, you get a nice crisp break. Those of you that follow us on Instagram or Facebook have seen footage of the break. Your rail is integrated to the receiver, built in, which is very nice. Not much of a flare for the mag well, because, well, this isn't a speed mag change kind of gun. The chassis itself, as it continues, you notice that the barrel is free floated, and we've got M-lock attachments at 3, 6, and 9, or 9, 6, and 3, depending on which end you want to start at. Got some nice, very deep fluting on that barrel there. It comes with this Caldwell bipod, which I found to be a bit soft and easy to knock out of spot, out of position. Maybe too light for a gun of this size, but at least it comes with a bipod. And of course the question is, do you have it fold forward so that you can lean into the gun, or have it fold backward so that recoil doesn't knock it off balance? That's a personal preference. Barrel continues out, I believe it's a 21-inch barrel. And then we've got this nice brake included with it. It's of course threaded, so those of you that want to put a can on it can. I'll be running it in the range test with the Nikon X1000. That's a 4-16 by 50 millimeter with a 30 millimeter tube to allow plenty of light. And it's the same scope model that we've been using for most of our reviews. I like the MOA reticle because it makes it easier to measure things. I don't have to get it and go down there. I can measure it using the reticle itself at 100 yards. Obviously, 1 MOA is 1 inch, makes things really easy for shooting paper like we do. So it's just a quick preview of the gun because, well, it's a bolt-action gun. There's not a whole lot that I can show you in a tabletop. So as far as field stripping this thing, of course, there's not a whole lot to bolt-action rifles. Magazine is a single stack. We've got this nice shiny spot right here on the other side. You bring the bolt up and back, depress on that, and then your bolt comes out. I have had to remove the adjustable cheek piece, that riser, to get the bolt out, but it's not hard. You just thread it all the way out. For those of you who are into it, I wanted to show you the bolt. We do have 3 locking lugs. You can see that it's got a spring-loaded ejector on it, much like an AR bolt, but those are some big, beefy lugs, and 3 of them. You can tell, looking at this bolt, that this rifle has been fired. That's because I'm actually filming this after we've done our shooting part, so little nicks on the finish and things like that, totally our fault, user fault. The gun came beautiful. So there you have it. We'll get it out to the range with 5 different loads. I'm going to film the range test real-time shooting, so before anyone starts to overanalyze the groups that we shoot, you'll be able to know how quickly or slowly we were shooting. You'll know that there wasn't any cooldown or barrel harmonic rest time or any of that kind of craziness for the groups. And it'll be 5 shots from myself and 5 from Maddie. Keep in mind that Maddie is relatively new to the shooting world, and I am not a precision rifle guy. I have shot some good groups in my lifetime, but more of a fluke than a normal occurrence. I freely admit that. Take responsibility for whatever you'll end up seeing there. But this rifle is priced and set up to be a great entry-level precision gun. So that's why I wanted to get my hands on one and give it a try. I'm looking forward to taking this big bad boy out to the range. Range test? Yeah, let's get to it. Welcome back to GBGuns. Thanks for joining us again. Back from the range with the Thompson Center Performance Center LRR in 308. Details on it, of course, were in the tabletop. And I forgot, I'm going to have to remove this raised cheek piece to get that bolt out. I'm going to take this thing apart and clean it up from our range test. As usual, we did 5 different loads, 10 shot groups with pause in between only to reload the magazine. So no actual, no break, if you will, for the gun, which meant that by the end, the barrel was pretty darn warm, that is. Really hot to the touch, maybe a little bit torturous, if you will, but wanted to see what the worst case would be out of this. The 10-shot groups were 5 from myself and 5 from Maddie. That way we reduce the shooter influence on how it groups. The optic you see on here is the Nikon Black X1000 4 to 16 by 50, and that's what we used for grouping at 100 yards. I'm going to figure out how to get this bolt out. I know I've done it before with that cheek riser in the way. Looks like I gotta go back the other way. And I'll wipe this thing down, let you guys take a look at the footage. Because this is not a hunting gun, didn't use any hunting loads, stuck with stuff that was target-ish. So most of it was around 168 grains of weight, which is what in the past I've found to be best. I don't claim to be a super marksman. I'm not a long-range expert or anything like that, which is part of what makes this rifle so attractive, because the MSRP puts it at very affordable for what it is. You're getting a chassis gun. Anyways, while I work with this, sorry about all those clicks, why don't you guys watch the footage and I'll talk to you on the other end. So we're out with the Thompson Center Performance Center LRR. This is a chassis gun available through the Smith & Wesson Performance Center / Thompson Center Performance Center. 308 chassis gun. We've got our Caldwell target camera set up at 100 yards way out there. Seems a lot longer on camera, doesn't it? Unfortunately, the target camera is black and white, so you're gonna have to watch our shots in black and white. We've got 5 different loads. In keeping with GBGuns tradition, it'll be 5 shots from myself and 5 from Maddie. That way we rule out shooter error or preference, and we're gonna be running through these 5 loads on those 5 targets. We'll call them out as we do it. I'm gonna leave the camera running real time so that you can see how much time is taken between shots if you want to get picky about accuracy. We are also using the Caldwell Stinger rest to help keep things nice and level. So Graham will start off with 5 shots, 100 yards. This is the Federal Premium 125 grain Tactical Rifle Urban. So it is a light load for 308, but considering this rifle might have use for law enforcement, we'll see how it does. The rifle is zeroed with 150 grain, so of course our impacts are not going to be dead on the bullseye. We're just looking for the group performance overall. Start off with 5 shots. And that did not print on paper at all. Looks like the impacts are about 5 inches high. I'm going to leave it there and we'll take a look at the groups after we shoot.
Looks like about a 1" by 1.5" smiley face group hitting about 5 inches high. I'm going to bring the zero down a little bit just in case. I don't know if the target camera is going to pan that high. No, it's not. So I'll bring the grouping down a couple inches so that we've got it ready for when Maddie shoots. Now 5 shots from Maddie at 100 yards with the Federal Premium Law Enforcement Tactical Rifle Urban 125 grain open tip. Looks like our zero adjustment worked. Now we moved on to the Black Hills Ammunition 168 grain boat-toed hollow point. 5 shots from Graham. And it looks like I'm not having the best shooting day, which is why we use 2 shooters. And now Maddie's 5 shots with the Black Hills Ammunition 168 grain bolt-toed hollow point. Now on the center target, Federal Premium Gold Medal Match, 168 grain. These are loaded with Sierra Match Kings. I threw that one. Could feel it. Seems to like this ammo a little better. So of note is the barrel is definitely hot at this point, but it seemed like that 168 grains so far. Next up is Maddie. Barrel's even toast here, but we're going to keep on going, assuming you might want to use this rifle for hard use. This is a hunting load up next, FIOCCHI 165 grain, so slightly lighter, Game King hollow point bow tail. Lower left target. Of course, if I hit anywhere else, we got a serious problem. Starting to get a little mirage off the barrel as well. So that load also going a bit high. Definitely our zero is high. Looking averaging about 2.5 inches higher. So I zoomed in a little bit to give you a better picture of that grouping there. How Maddie gets on target for this round, we can see, looking at these groups, that gold medal match is pretty darn good. Now the last of the FIOCCHI. test group is NOSLER 175 grain RDF, and that is a stink bug right on the bullseye. Let's hope we can get him. This should be entertaining. Oh, he's moving quick. Oh, he's already off the thing. Let's see anyways. Looks like this gun likes the RDF 175 from NOSLER. And 5 from Maddie. That sounded better.
That's over.
So that, folks, is 50 rounds of premium 308 ammo that we put through trying to group and figure out what runs best on this gun. Looks like the 175 from NOSLER grouped the tightest.
Okay, so I don't have as much experience with rifles and shooting long range, but I do have some. My hunting rifle is a Ruger 308. It's been about 3 years since I've even taken that guy out, so it was actually really nice to do some brushing up on rifle work today. My kind of take on this gun was, well, first off, it was really nice to have the stand here. The scope that we used was really clear, was really easy to function, was really easy to find my target. The recoil of the rifle itself was not bad. My shoulder is a little bit of a sore spot to it, but nothing too bad. The magazine did have a tendency to come loose there at the end, so that was a little inconvenient. Barrel got a little hot, which is to be expected with 2 shooters putting multiple rounds down range. I like the trigger. Trigger was smooth. Gun was smooth. All in all, I'd have to say it was a good time.
So if you guys made it this far, thanks for watching to the end. I had quite a bit of dirt on the bolt here, and this is just from those 50 rounds fired plus an original 10 or so to get it on target with the optic. Gotta say, the those groups not my best. I don't know if that's just not the best shooting day for me, or perhaps we don't have the right loads here, or what it is, but was shooting at a moderate pace, and I'm roughly satisfied with it. I wouldn't say dead on, but like I said, I take full responsibility for that if it's the groups, or if the groups are from the shooters, because we certainly had plenty of good ammo in there. The trigger on this thing is great. Did have the frustration with the magazine popping out every once in a while shooting, and that would result in closing. The magazine wouldn't fall all the way out, but it would seem to get just low enough so that it wouldn't fall out, but it also wouldn't pick up the next round. That might have been our shooting circumstances being in that rest. Can't really tell for sure off of this single impression, but that's our experience with the Thompson Center Performance Center LRR. Thanks for watching.